our versus Sector 1 Babbelbox. A match which will be very exciting, I hope. And I think it will be. Of course, still with me is Divian to guide you through the thought behind the plays the players make.
Yes, I hope I can help you with that. These players are number 1 and 2 in the league at the moment. The Babbelbox is the only one that has not been beaten yet with 4-0, and Narra is 3 with 1 loss. Which means that this is a very high stakes game, but on the other hand, it's more of a chill game because they both probably qualified for the playoffs already. Narra is bringing Paladin, Druid, and Warrior, where Babbelbox is bringing Druid, Rogue, and Paladin. And we see 2 aggro decks against each other. Wow.
Wow. And it will be a token Druid from Babbelbox and a Pirate Warrior from Narra. Which one is favored? Tell me, whilst you look around for mosquitoes.
I would say the token druid, but then I saw patches, and now I'm not sure anymore. But yeah, the token druid usually is favored, especially if it runs Galaka crawlers. But even without them. And the hand of Narra is pretty shitty, except for the Nizal's first mate.
Well, you can always draw more, and if you manage to draw on curve, you're a good player. But so far, indeed, the hand is suboptimal.
Wow.
Wow, interface.
That's far from suboptimal. If only he had a buff in his hand, like if he had Mark of the Lotus, this game would be over right now. But he doesn't.
He doesn't even have golden interface, so he doesn't really play that much shame.
I think he'll just play Double Firefly.
Alright. But he's thinking.
It contests the board, and you don't waste your Bloodsail Corsair, because playing it now would be kind of a waste. Patches could be better than this, and a 1-2 does the same as a 2-2 on this board, so no reason to play the Enchanted Raven. I'm happy Babbelbox thinks the same way.
I can understand that. Nobody ever thinks the same way I do. That's why people call me crazy, but a Fiery War Axe being picked up by Narra, would you play it or would you keep it?
That's kind of awkward. I would probably play it, yes, but I would probably attack with the 1-attack weapon, and then trade, go face with Patches, and then equip the War Axe. However, if you do that, then you probably want to use your other charge for the 1-1 that's left next turn. So, do you even want to equip the War Axe then? I guess not. But then again, if you equip the War Axe next turn, but you can't attack with it, then you attack on 4 and on 5, which means you can't attack on 5 with the Arcanite Reaper. Pirate Warrior is hard, man.
Such a tough life, and he will
get punished.
Smork it out.
This is the line I wouldn't go with. Oh, that's...
wow.
Is this game... I think so. He can play his entire hand, and he will most certainly do so. Besides that, Narra loses the weapon, so I think this will be a very quick game. Nice.
Even when you draw Patches from the start, you can still win. If you're a token druid, which is, well, as we said earlier, sort of a free win. If you're doing stuff like this. And there comes the Mark of the Lotus. And is there anything Narra can draw to fix what's going on right now?
The answer is no, and that's not it.
The answer is no, and that's not it. But then
like his second War Axe would have been great. That would be maybe a possibility.
Oh wow!
But this is just top decking and wrecking.
Yep.
So that's 9 damage plus 10 is 19 damage. Yeah, 19. Do you want to go for it? I guess you're not going to get more value than this. On the other hand, you might want to use the Saboteur to get better trades. It's difficult.
Do you want to trade? Are you that kind of man?
Depends if he has a the chance that you'll lose this game is like 1%, not even 1%, I think. So
he goes for the safe play.
how could he still lose if there's like a sick turn with two like a weapon, two Dread Corsairs, and then frothing you can't stop. Something like that is his only out.
Alright, and now the Crocodile Elite has to trade.
Oh, that's great. That's a great pickup.
That's a card. And
But
unfortunately he can't hero power with it, otherwise he would have done that straight away.
Could just Saboteur here, and then face tank the 4-1. But that's only 3, 7, 6 is 13 damage to the face, which puts your opponent on 8, which means you have lethal on the board if he doesn't hero power. And if he has to hero power next turn, then that's really bad for him as well. So I like the Saboteur here, to be honest.
Did you account for Narra being able to play Arcanite Reaper and Dread Corsair to stall? Or?
The first part, yes. The second part, no.
Alright.
So he wouldn't be dead.
Interesting. Time will tell.
I certainly hope so.
Time waits for no one.
It depends.
If I was Babbelbox, I would just play Vicious Fledgling together with the patches. Wow, what is this?
Trade phase.
This greedy person.
How could you?
Well, it's not necessarily bad, it's just different.
Different is not always good.
Here we'll definitely see the Arcanite Reaper together with the pirate dude.
Dread Corsair.
The Dread Corsair. And he'll kill the 3-3. Which means he's on 11 HP and there will be 8 damage on board together with the Saboteur next turn. Already including the 3 damage needed to kill the Dread Corsair. If he doesn't kill the Dread Corsair, he's just dead. Like if he doesn't play it.
And well, he's still
He
thinking
kind of doesn't
about...
want to play it.
If he doesn't, I'm going to be very mad.
Ooh, he's
Dancing
like, okay,
around.
maybe I have to go face, because else I won't win this game.
But does he?
No, he doesn't. He just has to stabilize on board, and then you win. Because there's almost no direct damage in the token druid. So if you stabilize, you almost... Like, you have your hero power as well, right? So in, like, 2 turns, you're out of reach. I disagree with going face here. I would hit the Raven and play the Dread Corsair, because else you're dead, and that's game.
Yep. That's very unfortunate. And he will probably be hitting his head on the desk right now.
I'm not sure, because if I were Babbelbox, I would have used the Saboteur like 2 turns ago. So if I was Narra, then I would probably guess that there is no Saboteur in the hand of Babbelbox.
Yeah, but he can still top deck, right? So
Yeah, true.
Wouldn't you account for that?
In this case, no. In this case, I wouldn't think of top decks, or you don't have the luxury to think of top decks.
All right.
Okay, so let's leave this behind us. Second
Oh, it hurts me.
You know what hurts more?
What?
Babbelbox has Rogue. Do you know what Rogue is famously bad against?
I will fight.
Not exactly.
Everything that is aggro.
Oh. So you're
Which
saying...
is like everything Narra is playing.
So you're saying if Babbelbox wins this one, Narra still has quite a big chance of winning.
Exactly.
Alright. So we'll see. Can his Pirate Warrior conquer these lovely bloody Murlocs of Babbelbox? Or will Narra fall?
The internet says Pirate Warrior is favored by quite not too much, like 6%.
What do your eyes say when you see this start?
Nothing really. Like, it's kind of tough to call because the Consecration is a really good pickup.
Alright, and
Oh, that's so good.
what is upgrade? Would you use it now or would you later on? Or with the fireworks?
You'll definitely use it later on. No reason to upgrade here.
But you do have it in hand, just to be that big boy.
There'll be another hero power here, I think. Because you set it for the Consecration. Okay, no hero power.
He actually plays into the Fiery War Axe.
Not entirely sure why.
Neither am I.
In other news, Babbelbox got a win in his regional tournament of chess yesterday, which is also why he failed to get a higher rank on ladder. But congrats to him with that. That's really awesome. I'm really bad at chess.
I think I'm good, but I'm actually bad. It goes for a lot of things, like Hearthstone. And there comes Consecration, meaning Babbelbox has a full clear. And Narra doesn't really have anything to play straight away.
This is going to be fun. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I would have done it the other way around, like just hit with War Ox and then Coin Reaper, and then next turn go ham. Like you have so many weapons. Why upgrade this one?
I think he wants to have board pressure. He's scared of losing that.
I guess.
And this way, like on the long term, a mean hits more than a weapon. So.
Yeah. But he has so many weapons. Like he already has enough damage in his hand to kill Babbelbox.
That's true. And with that charge and a +1/+1, that 5/4 falls, which is sad.
So sad.
Oh, Mortal Strike.
This is looking sort of decent for Babbelbox, I'd say. Because the hand of Narra is shit.
Would you now, if you were Narra, upgrade this time to have a 5/2 and keep working with that? Or is that really bad?
It's not really bad, but what else are you going to do with that 4 mana? Are you going to Mortal Strike his face? You don't really want to do that because you'll telegraph too much that you're going for the face plan. I think you'll just hit face and equip Arcanite Reaper. And then next turn you can do the same.
And
or just straight to me, and that's fine as well.
Just to change things up from what you predicted, and then...
Oh, that was a stupid call. And of course, I should have thought of this, but I knew there was no Spikered Steed in the hand of Babbelbox, but Narra didn't know that, so he had to clear them in. And I think I like the Gastropod pick here, to be honest. It's cheap and it takes a hit. What else do you want?
And you can combo it with the Spikered Steed on turn 8. To make it very annoying.
Yeah, that's true. But you could also just Hero Power and combo that with Spikered Steed. There's not too many high HP dudes on Narra's side. But yeah, I like the Gastropod here.
Let me think.
But he's wondering, maybe a second Ancient of Blossoms. The god. Yeah, oh wow. He actually goes for it.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's
interesting. I said it for the memes, but I got out-memed.
I guess it's for the follow-up. So, like, next turn you play Ancient of Blossoms, and then the turn after you play Hero Power Spikered Seed, and there's no way for Narra to get through that. He really needed something of a Corcoran Elite here, and even that's not good enough.
Feels bad, man, for Narra, because, well, what you gonna do about this board, unless if you have to invest your Mortal Strike. And more weapon charges, which... You know, you want to go face a bit if you don't have board.
Well, it's just really bad luck that Narra didn't get the chance to build a board. If only he had something like the Upgrade Pirate or the South Sea Captain or this Bloodsail Corsair, but they're all still in his deck, and the only thing that he gets is weapons and upgrades. Weapons for days, though.
And there is the trade. Will he Mortal Strike and Dread Corsair? That's the question of today. At least the Corsair will come out, and does this open up the window of opportunity for a Spikered Steed? Nope. Not yet. Next turn with a dude. If Babbelbox decides to do so, or even the 3/8 Ancient of Blossoms.
There we go, Ancient of Blossom Ink. And that's a card. Now it's getting better. He will lose his Dread Corsair here, but if he just upgrades and plays the Bloodsail Raider, then...
It's huge.
It's huge. The Bloodsail Raider is quite literally huge, yes.
Will be an 8-3. And he does clear the Ancient of Blossoms, which makes it harder for Babbelbox to do anything. His steed can...
Your microphone is kinda killing people, I think. Yep, that's better. If you muted yourself, that's better as well. So I think we'll see the Hydrologist into the Spike-Red Steed here, even though it dies immediately to both the Bloodcell Raider and the Arcanite Reaper. But the Bloodcell Raider dies as well, and the Arcanite Reaper disappears. So it's not that bad for Babbelbox. However,
It should be better now, right?
It is better now. What did you do?
Well, sometimes my mic does things. I think there's a wire that's breaking down inside of it. That scares me. But
That does sound scary.
yeah, I turn things a little bit. I probably have to buy one of those fancy mics.
Oh,
Work
wow.
with that later on.
Yeah, I should get one too.
I must move quickly.
And then we're the fancy boys casting ESL Benelux. Whilst
Exactly.
Babbelbox is still thinking around, reinforcing and using a spike-rich steed, which means it's just out of range of Narra's weapon, unless if he top decks something fancy.
That's fancy. Which means that his 8-3 will survive. Oh,
Yep.
That's
Oh.
glorious.
There's glory to be won.
Yeah, you can't go face at the moment. It's Batman.
By the holy Lord.
No, it's just trolling.
Who would have thought? But the deckhand coming in quite handy right now.
The upgrade pirate would have been even better.
Yeah, that would have been amazing, but unfortunately for Narra that wasn't the case. And now he does straight away. Takes 2 damage on his lovely H3, making it 8-1. This Raider going places and maybe to the grave with that Redding Blade.
Hydrologist going to get the get down secret if you're lucky. You're not lucky. So I guess you go for eye for an eye. That's just because it's funny, to be honest. Getaway Cutter is better. Because you can still get down.
Yeah. But is it for memes or is it for wins?
I wonder.
Of course, you're playing the ESL Benelux group stage, so you want to go for the win and get on that stage. Both players are pretty much already, well, confident that they'll go on stage, but we'll see.
Well, Narra is usually 5th, right? So
Yeah, he was 5th last season. It was very
everything,
sad.
anything can happen.
No, that card is out of the rotation right now, whilst MJ is just murdering some midgets in his room.
that makes it sound so wrong.
That's why I
I'm
did
not
it.
murdering midgets.
And the getaway Kodo coming in. And will he attack with the weapon?
He'll go face.
Oh, because that is
Okay,
the
so
play.
that's 7 and 10, and if you hit 5 in the face, and that's
That's
So if it would be eye for an eye, which it isn't, then it would be lethal next turn. That's amazing. Which yeah, you just hit face with the weapon, I guess, and then face with your other dude.
Yeah.
Which is 13 damage. And even if it is get down, you still hit face with the weapon first because you don't want your dude to die.
correct.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm just positive reinforcing. I've learned that really works. And well, 13 damage now from Narra, which brings Babbelbox to 6. Which means he can't really finish it off next turn unless if he gets an upgrade. Or some charge dude.
Yeah, the chance to get a charge suit is rather large.
And Narra can't get again down, right? Because he has to suicide.
Oh, it's not get down. Feels good, man. Go face. More face. And now, Babbelbox really needs a taunt.
Yes. Will he get the Stonehill Defender? No, he will get another Murloc.
Which is kind of useless, to be honest. Yeah, that's a very apt description of it. You sack your 4-3 because you're dead anyway, if you don't. And you go face with the rest, including your weapon, because you won't ever trade with your weapon again, because it means you'll die. And if you get a true silver, then you might get an out. So this is very important for Narra. Is that a charger? That is not a charger. Which means that this is gamed the other way around, right?
Wow.
No, it's not, because there's only
You can
11
armor
damage
up.
on the board and you can armor up. So
Yeah.
you play the frothing here and armor up.
And go face.
And
of
go
course.
face, of course. You play your small pirate first, then your weapon, and then the frothing. Could also keep the weapon for next turn, doesn't really matter.
Oh, so now Babbelbox needs to top deck something. Oh my god, this is
Now
top deck.
Babbelbox
mate.
needs to top deck 2 Murdochs. Or Charger. Or Blessing.
Oh,
That's
wow.
fine. Babbelbox is such a good player.
Yeah, I truly respect his playstyle and his skill. That means he is
On the
now
other hand,
2-0 up.
Narra was really close to actually we're still winning this.
Yeah, but like, how much does being close help if you're still losing? And
Not too much.
last
how
season he was
much-
really close to getting to the finals, but he was still 5th.
How much does having a rogue help against aggro decks? We'll find
Oh,
out soon.
that is a good question, and we'll see indeed. As Babbelbox is now 2-0, only deck left for him is the Rogue, whilst Narra still has a Paladin, a Druid, and a Warrior.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. So Babbelbox played a very aggressive Paladin and a very aggressive Druid. However, his Priest got banned, and he's also playing Rogue. So what is his lineup?
I don't know, man, but it is the Quest Rogue. We see a Patches, which will be taken away. And there's the first bounce, and the Glacial Dude, just to free stuff.
Like Glacial Dude, so chill. Second bounce as well. The Glacial Dude's chill.
God. That was so good. I didn't even notice it. It's
No,
amazing.
I didn't notice it either. That's how good it was. And then I did, and then I had to repeat it for myself and for you.
Thank you. I couldn't have slept if I would have skipped that. No way.
Do you play Novice here?
Yeah, I
Also,
think
for the
draw.
ones watching, this matchup is very unfavored for the Rogue. You know, want to know how unfavored?
70-30.
How unfavored do you think?
70-30.
It is indeed 71 to
Oh.
30.
I'm so good.
But you know, that's insanely unfavored. That's almost the most unfavored of any matchup in the game at the moment.
Now, would you play it in a soft, or would you go for Fire Warriors? Oh, Saucy Captain
Trust the pirate's code.
with Patches.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh yeah. Oh wow, I almost forgot that. Of course, Patches comes out and
This is
gets buffed
also
up.
awesome.
Wow. It's
Wow.
Trade Mania.
Yeah, but just look at his hand. He has quest on turn 5.
Oh wow,
Wow, indeed.
it is amazing. But no.
This hand though is so good.
My blade
Yeah, you play frothing, then he freezes it, then you silence it, then it does nothing. Feels bad, man. Yeah. You freeze it, and then you freeze the face as well, I guess. And then you shadow step it. And the next turn, you can bounce it again. This is fun. Not sure if I would use that one instead of the gadgets and ferryman. But I guess it doesn't
I
matter.
wouldn't. No, well, the Gadgeton is so much easier if you can already combo it now. Like, the only problem is that your stats are reversed. And who cares about the free damage if you're gonna go for the quest anyway? Right?
Yes. Did you know that this is very painful for Narra? But I guess you just play
I
War
can't
Ox,
understand.
including the what's it called?
Corsair.
Corsair. No? Bloodsail Raider. That's the one.
Oh,
Because it's a
fuck.
5-3.
I want to go aggressive. Like a man. So he does exactly what you asked him to. And now we see Glacial Shard again coming in.
And
Soon
again.
to be-
And again.
And again.
Yeah, this is like the only way that Rogue can win this matchup. Just freeze everything, stall a lot, and then next, after that, you can build your 5/5s, and then the Pirate Warrior can't do anything anymore.
And the
So I
quest-
guess Babbelbox might actually just win this 3-0.
Wow. It would have be the second 3-0 of the evening.
Yes, it would be, and it would be a very quick match once again. So maybe it's not just aggro decks, but these were aggro decks as well, right? So I guess it's just because they are aggro decks and because it's 3-0. It's not done yet though, but it's very close to. Did you know you can't Spellbreaker your own face?
Your magic shall
That's so weird. Why wouldn't you? It's unfortunate that he has to. Well, I can understand now he can attack with the Blood Seal. Still, you lose the buff. So it's a win-lose.
West, South Sea Deckhand, and then there's nothing left for Babbelbox. Or for Narra, I mean.
Yeah. Is there any way for Narra to come back? Because those 5/5s are just going to hammer on you.
Yes, if you draw more than your opponent does.
Okay.
Like, if your opponent can only play 1 5/5 per turn, then you can probably deal with it.
But first you have to get there. And will
Exactly. I guess you play Captain Greenskin together with the Dread Corsair.
blood and plunder.
But then without the Captain Greenskin, it seems. So he will hit with this weapon in the 5-1 to make sure that this this is good, I think. I think this is one of the only ways for Narra to still win this. Oh, not anymore. Because all the pirates get cleared, and this is devastating for
That's
Narra.
sad.
And that Babbelbox is winning. This is still amazing me. Like 70% win rate in this matchup for the Pirate Warrior, and it's almost impossible for the Rogue to win. But this is one of those moments where you're like, yeah, this is how a Rogue can win. I agree.
We are the 30%, says Babbelbox, and wow, this is getting a bit scary for Narra. And well, one more bounce. It's almost game already.
Yeah, you can kill the 5-2, but now the 5-5 can trade, and you get 2 5-5s in return, which is arguably worse. And you lose your pressure being Narra, and that's undoable. Like, you can't win this,
Wow.
Narra. You can just concede. Or as Narra told me Monday on ladder, bottom right, buddy. Well, bottom right for you too.
That feel when you can finally get your revenge.
Yeah,
we
it's
actually
just a
playing
shame
each
that
other,
it's-
or
Yeah, we were playing each other. I was like, I went all in with Token Root on turn 1. I had like 3 minions and a buff in my hand, and then he just Doomsayered on turn 1, like coin Doomsayer, which
Oh,
killed
wow.
because I couldn't deal with it and I had no hand left. So that's why when he told me to bottom right, and this is what he gets in return: 3-0 for Babbelbox. Well, it was a very quick series, and Babbelbox shows why he is 4-0 and the leader of the league at the moment. Narra falls back to 3-2, middle of the pack, I'd say, together with Shusi. And then there's some people with 2-3, and only one person with 1-4, which is Vortex, who is now the lowest in the league.
That is unfortunate, but someone has to be on the bottom of the board. Same as in Counter-Strike, same as in these group stages, and the same as in the ladder, the biggest dumpster around. Well, that were those our games for tonight. Well, words hard speaking. And as you said, the scores are now set, and Babbelbox is of course sure of being in the grand final on the 24th of June in the Amsterdam Arena. Your tickets can be bought now with early bird discount, so get yours today and see us there in our beautiful, beautiful place. And well, also a big shout out to our sponsors MediaMarkt, Median and Logitech G for helping us bring this event to you. Of course, our production dude and my co-caster Divian. Do you have any closing words?
Well, I hope we'll see all of you next week, where we have more exciting matches, some control, some aggro, and lots of Hearthstone. So see you next week.
See you next week.